Is it okay to be inconvenient to a five sensory as a six sensory? Well, I'm here to tell you today, it is not only okay to be inconvenient, but it's actually a good thing. Why is it a good thing to be inconvenient? One of our greatest fears as six sensories is we're often so in tune to other people's emotions and needs. It's like when we're the child, we are the golden child when we're not inconvenient to our parents, when we don't cry too much, when we have the least needs and we leave them alone, and we say we like all of the food that we're given and thank you for everything that you've given me. And of course, it's good to be a good son or daughter to your parents. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But the problem is we learn to have no needs as a child. It's like, I have to comply to all the adults around me, and therefore I have no needs. I have no sensitivity. I never speak up when I'm uncomfortable. I never tell my parents that this class or this sports team is not okay for me, because that would be inconvenient for them, and then they'd have to pull me out and register me in another sport. These sorts of things that we do as a child are not really good traits to carry with us into adulthood. It's not a good description on your resume to say that you were convenient. That means that they took you for granted, and you don't want a five sensory partner describing you that way either. Oh, well, that six sensory was really convenient to have around. Do you think that's marriage material? Do you think that they're looking for a serious relationship when they call you convenient? I mean, probably not. It's more likely they were in close proximity and therefore it was easy to spend time with them. It's not really a positive thing. It's not a good thing to be convenient in terms of doing things for five sensories and cooking for them. It's not a good idea to be convenient by always cleaning and being subservient to them. That proves to them, quote, quote, that you're like the good partner, but you're not really the good partner. They're just kind of laughing and making fun of you for these qualities. And it's crazy. These are good qualities. It's like we grew up with these things. If you went to a church or a spiritual group, it's like we learn to clean up after ourselves, we learn to cook and take good care of ourselves. They're basic life skills, but they get turned around on us when five sensories sense that we're doing these things in order to attain some kind of commitment. And so we have to be really careful with our energy as six sensories. It doesn't mean we have to play any games at all with five sensories, but we only reward the good behavior. We only show our virtues when five sensories really deserve to see those virtues. We don't just give them away for free. And if you develop your sense of intuition, your sense of guidance, and you help people with their life path and what's meaningful for them and how to coach them out of pain in their relationships, then you have an even more valuable skill set. And you may not even realize you have it. Maybe you're the type of healer that whenever you're with a five sensory, you heal them so much back to health that they break up with you and then they go after somebody that they perceive as more high status or attractive. Now, as a six sensory, you're partially at fault for that because you chose to heal a five sensory hoping that they would reciprocate and love you, but that doesn't really work if you think about it. Most six sensories get taken advantage of. It's like if you pay for a five sensories education, they'll probably turn around, go get a job away from you and leave you. If you do everything for them around the house, they'll take you for granted and make fun of you behind your back. It's just like we have to learn as six sensories to respect ourselves first and put our own goals, dreams, and ambitions, our own life before the five sensories. And maybe that means getting out of the house a bit if you live with a five sensory. Maybe that means you have to take up a hobby like fitness or a class in cooking or flower arranging or anything that gets you engaged and allows you to grow and keeps you a little bit mysterious to a five sensory. These are the things that you want to go for as a six sensory in order to preserve who you are. And also, it might be time for you to start that business and start helping people with their intuitive abilities yourself if you've got a very strong sense. Everybody wishes they had a good sense of intuition. If you think about it, if we all were really intuitive, we'd all know right away who's wasting our time when we're dating, and we get rid of them more quickly, right? As your intuition gets home, you get better at sensing those things and you stop living in a fantasy and you start getting better at seeing people for who they are and weeding them out way before they have a chance to manipulate you. So that's one of the great qualities of being intuitive that you can share with people and help people develop in themselves. And if we all became really strong and intuitive as a society, these manipulation tactics wouldn't work and people would stop using them. And more profoundly, if we were all embracing our intuition, all of us would not only feel a strong sense of meaning and purpose and connection to the universe, but we'd also have a strong sense of what happens after we die. We know in confidence that our parents or ancestors who have passed on have gone to a good place, and nobody can manipulate us spiritually either ever again for their own agenda politically. And so that's why it's so critical all of us develop our own independent sense of wisdom, our own independent sense of intuition. It's great to meet in community and share things with other people. But if people are trying to control you or convince you of an agenda that you don't agree with, you don't have to participate in that. You can develop your wisdom and your spiritual sense on your own without any interference from other people. And you don't have to share your life with the five sensory if they're not treating you respectfully either. Only accept the very best top drawer behavior. And if people are not bringing that forward, don't reward them for anything less. Stick to your own goals and dreams and ambitions instead, and keep working towards your beautiful life. That, in the end, is ultimately going to be way more fulfilling than waiting around for a five sensory and wasting time. Bottom line is, it's okay to have your requirements in life. It's okay to have your grippy pen when you're working. It's okay to have a clean glass of water, your comfortable pillows that help you sleep, your clothes that feel good on your skin. Whatever that costs, there are some things in life that are worth spending a bit of money on because you're worth it as a sixth sensory. That's why that catchphrase took off so much commercially. And you gotta recognize that you need to take really good care of yourself, including the temple in which you reside, which is that body of yours. And if you take very good care of yourself and you set the standards for others to take very good care of you, that's when you're going to achieve ultimate fulfillment as a sixth sensory.